So it's been 3 days since the prelims 2021. Hope you all are performing very well and you have checked your key or you are satisfied with your attempt. From today onwards, we will be focusing on the mains preparation. So this will be a 2 months continuous program. We will be completing all the syllabus and we will be revising it, and also we will be writing answers regularly so that our answers will be very good enough so that we can get more than 400 plus in the mains examination. Our strategy will be completing all the topics, and also we will also try to regularly write, that is daily writing practices will be there so that your answers will be improved by the end of the December. So that's our strategy. So welcome to GS answer writing session. Today we will be focusing on certain important things. Whenever you start your writing your answers, you need to understand certain important features, important topics that is related to how to write answers, or how to frame your answers. That will be addressed in this session. So the first preference for writing answer is that start writing. Okay, even if you don't know what to write, or even if you don't know what is the meaning of some questions, or if you don't understand some questions, you should start writing. That is, writing answers, starting your answers is the most important thing in your mains preparation. If you are not ready to answer the question, or if you think that you can answer the questions when you are in a UPSC mains examination hall, that is not going to happen. The thing is that you need to practice. You need to eliminate your hesitations in writing answers. Only after avoiding that, or only after removing your hesitation, you can complete answers in your mains examination. So from today onwards, if you have started your preparation, you should remember a few things that, or you should understand a few things that you need to start writing. Be it your optional, be it your general studies, the idea is that you need to start writing whatever it is, whatever questions, whatever test series, or whatever previous year questions you are going to write or start writing today itself. Our Mainsure 2021 program will be focusing on a daily answer writing and also a sectional based weekly answer writing also, so that you can complete the answers or complete the entire topic by the end of December, and you can revise the materials in a short span of time. So remember these things, remember a few things, that is, you are going to write whatever it may be, or whatever the questions be, you are going to write. But without answering questions, or without writing answers in your mains examination, you cannot satisfy the demand of UPSC's questions, or you cannot, you never will be able to attain the dream number of 400 plus in general studies. So our strategy starts with the idea of getting 400 plus in general studies. Our strategy is to get maximum out of GS, that is 400 plus. In the current scenario, if you are getting around 360 or 370 or 380, it is also considered as very good mark, but we will not be restricting ourselves into that number. We will be crossing 400 definitely. If you are practicing with us, or if you can keep up the pace with us, definitely you can get 400 plus in the mains examination. We can guarantee that. But the thing is that do not get distracted by other things. Do not think that you don't have the content, so we will be getting more content. Instead of that, we are going to focus on writing answers. And if you are ready to practice with us, definitely you are going to get 400 plus. That is, regular answer writing is required, daily answer writing is required. You need to participate in the every programs that we are conducting. So that's the idea. So we will start with the general introduction to GS answer writing. So the basic idea is that the knowledge is of no value unless you are going to put it into practice, or unless you put it into practice. That is the basic idea. You can get the content as much content available in the market. For example, there will be multiple compilations, there will be standard textbook, there will be the notes you have already prepared. That is, multiple contents, multiple ideas, multiple data will be there. You may be thinking that the questions will be a little bit tough, and questions will be twisted, or question can be like that or this. You will be starting, you are going to start focus on content in few days. That is not the case for mains examination. That is not the thing that is required for writing mains examination. The thing that you require to write answers in the mains examination is getting practice. That is, knowledge is okay, knowledge is necessary. I'm not saying that knowledge is not necessary. Knowledge can be built in a long run. That is, in 2 months you can build enough knowledge, but you should never be distracted by knowledge. You should be focusing on practice also. Practice is very important. Without practice, you are not going to get 400 plus in GS paper. And definitely, if you want to get 400 plus in your mains examination, GS mains examination, you are going to focus on practice along with the knowledge. So today we are going to discuss on first one, why do you need to write answers regularly? What is the importance of writing answers regularly? And second one, after that, we'll be focusing on what should be focused on, or while writing your answers, what are the important sectors that you need to focus on. And then next one is when do you need to write your answers. For example, somebody will be saying that after you complete the knowledge or complete the topics that is relevant for mains examination, after completing every topic, you are going to write the examination. Somebody will be saying that. That is not the case. There will be a definite when. That is a definite idea that we are going to focus. When you are going to start your preparation, or when you are going to address the idea of practicing civil services mains examination. And next one is how you can improve the answers you are writing. How, the idea of how you can improve. There are certain conditions, or there are certain requirements that that should be focused on while you are answering the question. That will also be discussed in the fourth part. So these are the main important parts we are going to discuss today. So first one, we will be starting with the why. Why do you need to write answers regularly, or what is the importance of writing answers regularly? So the basic idea is, consider that is, practice is the key for every success. Similar to that, the mains examination as well requires your regular practice. Without, consider if you are not practicing, consider you are not practicing for the mains 2021, definitely you are going to get some marks. Okay, that is, for GS paper you are going to practice for a consider you are going to prepare content for this mains content, that is general studies content. You are starting your knowledge accumulation. You are ready to understand the knowledge, and it will be getting you in somewhere around 320 to 340 or less than that. That is, if you are getting enough content in, you will be getting around 300 or 320 or 340. That will be almost certain if you have covered all the topic, and if you are able to write the mains answers or complete the paper, 20 questions or 90, at least 19 or 18 questions in every 4 papers, then you are going to get around 300 or 320. And definitely what happens is that you are not going to clear the mains examination. No, that means no interview call. You will not be getting any interview call. If you want an interview call, and if you want to satisfy the demand of the questions by UPSC, you should be focusing on the next 2 months. That is, your preparation should be, or your ideas should be streamlined, or your already existing knowledge should be structured in such a way that you are getting content for writing answers. That is, whenever there is a question in the UPSC, you should be answering, or you should be answering according to the demand of the question. For that, you need to practice. So whenever you are writing practice, or whenever you are practicing your answers, or whenever you are writing mock test, or whenever you are writing questions for your mains examination, definitely your answers are going to improve, or your idea about UPSC pattern will be improving. Your ideas related to writing answers or decoding the questions related to UPSC will be improving. For example, there was a question related to GS paper 2. In GS paper 2, there was a question related to speaker. That is, once a speaker, always a speaker. There was a question. most of the students were having certain confusions how to write that question in UPSC mains. But the idea is that if you are practicing enough, or if you have enough content and you are ready to practice for the next 2 months, definitely you are going to get the output. That is, you may have all the contents related to speaker in the line that is required for UPSC. So what happens is that the first requirement is to practice regularly. Without practice, you cannot succeed in the mains examination. You take test regularly, that is on a daily basis, and also on the basis of a weekly basis. That is, a daily basis writing should be there. It can be either from 2 questions, 5 questions, or 10 questions. 5 questions is very good enough. And in the weekly basis, you should be writing the section, a certain part of the syllabus should be completed, and then you need to write the answers. So idea is that the practice should be the key. For example, you may have certain peer group. You may be having 3 or 4 or 5 people around you. You can write within that group, or you can write on a regular basis within that group, so that your answers can be improved. Regular feedbacks and answers is very important. So the idea is that you are going to practice it regularly. That is, writing consistently for the next 2 months can alone make a difference of at least 40 marks. That is, if you are getting 340 marks in the with your content, or in a normal case you are going to get 340, if you believe that, then if you practice along with that, if you are practicing for the next 2 months, you can add another 40 marks. That means 380 will be your marks for GS alone. That means you are going to get a very good marks in your mains examination. And if you can regularly practice with us, regularly get feedback, or regularly meet our mentors and all, then you can make this to 400 plus. That is the idea. That is, practice is the key for mains examination. Do not worry about anything. Practice is the key. Next one, when you practice, you should also focus on certain important thing. That is, be regular in practice. For example, most of the time what happens is that people will be practicing for mains examination. People will be starting the practice for mains examination. For example, they will be writing answers on a daily basis for 2 weeks. After that, they will identify that they need to complete a lot of topics, or they need to focus on optionals. They will be moving to optionals. They will be moving to compilation will be coming out after 1 month or so. That is, people will be moving to all these content. People will leave the practice. What happens is that they will know all the content. They will understand all the content. Almost every content will be understood by them. But what happens is that whenever there is a twisted question in UPSC, whenever there is an analytical question in UPSC, they may fail to answer the question because they may not understand the question. What is the demand of the question? Or even if they write an answer, that will not be suitable for the demand of UPSC. That is the issue. That is the issue. What is happening in and around the aspirant community? That is, people will be having every content. For example, if you are going to ask a question about the recent tribunal reforms bill, they will be saying that these are the amendments, these are the proposed changes, and these are the pros, these are the cons. But whenever UPSC is asking a basic question, we consider UPSC is asking some question related to there is a requirement for institutional change, but it should be little bit in such a way. UPSC will be giving such kind of quote, and they want you to comment. At that time, you will only produce the same content, which will not satisfy the demand of question. So if you want to satisfy the demand of question, then you need to practice. For example, there is a question. Consider there is a question, and you just build some knowledge or content related to these questions in your answer. You were successful in producing content, and you produced content, and you wrote all the content related to that, but question asked for something else. Question's demand was something else, and if you have only written these content, you are going to get around, out of 10, you are going to get around 2.5 or 3, maximum of 3. But if you understand the demand of the question, and you analyze the question, or analyze the basic demand of the question, and you are ready to place the questions and content according to the demand, then you are going to get another 1 or 1.5 mark. That is 4.5 marks. In if you are getting on a regular basis, or if you are consistently getting 1.5 marks for next question with next 20 questions, that means there will be 30 marks added to your paper. Even if your content is slow or your content is not that great, but you are ready to, or you are capable of analyzing the question and satisfy the demand of the question, you are going to get around 20 or 30 marks in addition to the normal mark. So you should be practicing regularly, and do remember to make a daily schedule. Schedule is very important. That is, for example, today you are going to write, consider some people will be doing that. That is, you may be taking a random test from random academy or random previous year question. You will be writing that. And another day you will be writing from GS4, another day, next day you will be writing from GS3. And what happens is that you won't be identifying your issues. You believe that it can be satisfied by understanding certain topics, or understand or reading little bit more. We can satisfy these questions from GS1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You believe that. Instead of that, what you should be doing is that you should make a schedule. You should give a schedule, or you should create a schedule in such a way that you can complete all the topics by mid of, or by 10th of December, at least 30 days or 20 days before the examination, or by mid of December, December 15th, you need to complete all the topics. Make a schedule. We will be in Mainsure 2020, we will also give the detailed schedules. We will also have the daily syllabus discussion, so that you can have a detailed syllabus on for each day. So make a daily schedule, that is important. Next one is practice at least 3 to 5 questions. Practice at least 3 to 5 questions on a daily basis. You need to practice on a daily basis, and you should be writing at least 3 or 2 minimum questions, minimum 2 questions on a daily basis. And these questions should be from the basic content you are learning. For example, you have today you are focusing on art and culture, and you need to write questions from art and culture. Whether you are capable of reproducing your content, whether you are able to answer according to the demand of the question, you should be checking on a regular basis. And it would be better to have a peer group, at least get some mentors to give feedbacks on a daily basis. You should be making some arrangement to get peer evaluation or evaluation by a mentor. That is very important. In Mainsure 2021, what we are doing is that we will be creating a student profile for everyone. There will be student profile which will be accessible to the student, and we will be giving certain strength, weakness on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. Every test there will be strength and weakness identified, and what can be done. A suggestion will be given. According to you, you should also read through this student profile on a daily basis, and finally you can definitely get to the answer. You can reach the final output, or you can satisfy the demand of UPSC once you follow through the student profile according to the feedback of mentors. Every day there will be questions, that is 3 to 5 questions will be discussed or written on a daily basis every evening, and after that we will evaluate that also. So that is next one. Be regular in practice. For that you need to focus on a daily schedule, and also every test series will be having a weekly test series or a sectional basis. You will be writing the test as well. Do write that test also. That is also very important. Next comes, this is why you need to practice on a daily basis. That is, you are going to make a change of at least 40 to 50 marks. If you want to make a change from the previous attempts, or if you want to get 400 plus in your first mains attempt, you are going to practice on a daily basis. If you are not practicing on a daily basis, you may suffer from severe losses in the GS itself. For example, in the last GS also, some people have got around 60-65 range. At the same time, somebody will be getting around 100 and 105. This is one paper alone. You are going to have a difference of 40 marks. That means a complete difference is there. If you want to succeed in this, what you are going to do is 40 into 4. That means 160 marks difference. That is, you are going to be in a rank list. Compared to 60-65 marks, you are going to get interview call, and hopefully you are going to be in the rank list. If you want that, you are going to practice. That is the importance. That is the factor that is related to why of answer practicing. That is, regular answer practicing is very important. Next comes what. That is, what are the important things to be focused? When you write an answer, there are certain important factors. For example, you need to understand the demand of the question, you need to answer the question, you need to have enough content, and you should be focusing on some presentation also. So that will be focused on this session, that is what to be written on your answer, or what are the important things to be focused. We are already, we understood the why, that is we have already made a syllabus that can be completed within a short span of time, or by December 15 we are going to complete the syllabus, and now we are going to write answers. When you write an answer, there are certain ingredients. The first ingredient, an important ingredient, is content. You need to have the content. It is not about reading all the current affairs material or all the compilation. It is the idea to, or it is the basic ideas that is required to answer a question. For example, if you want to write a question on speaker, or if you want to write a answer on governor, you need to understand the articles related to that. You need to understand the cases related to that. You need to understand the certain other committee recommendations. For example, Gunji Commission, Sarkari Commission, all these commissions are there. These recommendations should be known. These are the basic content. These basic contents are required, and you should also understand some backgrounds. For example, related to governor, there are certain Supreme Court verdict is there recently. For related to speaker, there are certain issues also. You just understand the current affairs and also add the basic content. For example, consider a 10-mark question. You are you read governor very thoroughly. You know about 25 points, including all the cases from 1950s onwards and all the committees from 1950s or 60s onwards. You know a content minimum of 25 questions. That is good. If you are going to have a long discussion about governor, that is very good. You can definitely show off yourself in that discussion. But when it comes to 10-marker question, you only need a maximum of 5 to 6 questions, 5 to 6 points, 5 to 6 strong points. That is the idea. That is, you're going to present yourself. You know all the content, but the issue is that there is no space. You need to present yourself. You need to arrange the content according to their priority. After arranging that, you can only write around 5 to 6 points, or maximum of 8 points. That is the relevant points that is required for your mains examination. That is, you can start with the NCERT. The basic NCERT can be used to get the basic ideas of Indian polity, governance, geography, history, etc. All these content can be developed from the NCERT. But the next thing is that you should be arranging it according to the priority. What is the requirement? For example, when you write the governor's angle, you need not write all the examples. You need not write the issue in the Kerala, issue in Tamil Nadu, issue in Karnataka. You pick one of the most important relevant example and write it there. You take some cases. For example, there is Ramjavaya case, Cooper case, etc. You take those cases and write that. For example, recently there is a Rabia case, or Nebam Rabia case is there. You can write that. This is current relevant. You can definitely write that case. That is, the idea is that the content should be there. You should have the content, but it should not be a very long descriptive content. Instead, you should be having a very short, replaceable, or the idea you can be used in your mains examination. You should be writing these maximum of 5 to 6 to 8, or if in the case of 15 marks, you are going to write around 10 points. That is required. That is, these relevant points are required for the mains examination. So what is required to improve your answers? First one is content. That is very important. Next one is presentation. Presentation is the most important thing. For example, if you can, if you consider a chessboard, somebody will be knowing the idea of chessboard. King is important. That is, content is important. Content is king here. but queen has all the powers to move around the chessboard. So presentation is the key. If you want to win, then you should be focusing on presentation. That is, content is king. Always content is king, yes, but he is going to stay there. If you want to win in mains examination, if you want to get maximum out of GS in mains examination, you are going to focus on presentation as well. Presentation includes prioritizing, maps, diagrams, underlining, etc. That is, all the ideas you have can be utilized in your answers. That is, you need to focus on presenting your ideas. That is, for example, consider you are a civil servant or an IAS officer. You have appointed to the some district. You need to present yourself. That is, whenever there is a case, there can be a flood, or there can be a event, or there can be a festival, or you need to explain something to your fellow citizens. That means you are going to present. The same thing is there in your mains examination also. You need to present yourself. You need to sell yourself to the examiner. You need to say that I am the best candidate available for this service because I am able to present myself. So the idea is that presentation is very important. That is, you need to prioritize. That is, you may already, we have said that there is 25 or 26 points in governor. If there is a question on governor, you are going to prioritize according to the requirement of question. Whenever there is a relevant point, or whenever there is a relevant content, you need to arrange it into the top part. That is, prioritizing is very important. Then you can go for maps, diagrams, underlining also. All these helps you to give more focused approach. For example, underlining. Consider I am writing a long sentence and the core point lies here. If you are underlining, it will be easier for examiner to understand that you already know the content. You are writing that content. It will be very easy for the examiner to understand the basic thing. So next one is underlining is also important. And similar to that, there is maps, diagrams, etc. Use these maps, diagrams. For example, there can be block diagram. For example, consider new education policy. There can be lower education, higher education, etc. All these, what are the contents related to these things? Try to use maps, diagrams, graphs, etc. in your answers. You can, if you are reading, if you are going through GS2, GS3, GS4, etc., there can be policies related to these in your government policies, or you can go for the government policy document. You will definitely get the examples or diagrams or facts or graphs related to the content. For example, if you are going to write an answer related to GDP growth, we can say that till 2008, you can start by 2008, there is a strong, 2008 or 10, there is a strong growth, then there is a sudden slowdown, then there is another high, then in COVID-19 there is a slowdown. You can draw your own graph, there is no problem. Just show that you know the content. It will be better to show off yourself when you are drawing a diagram. That is, more contents can be added to the answers when you are drawing a diagram or drawing a map. If you are writing an answer in geography, definitely draw a map. Or if there is a question related to how the monsoon is spreading throughout the India, you are going to draw the diagram of or map of India, and you are going to explain this is how this monsoon is going to spell it cast. That is the idea. That is, whenever you are writing certain answers, it would be better to draw a diagram. And we will be saying that in 20 questions, at least 10 to 12 questions should be having diagrams. That is, more and more, whenever you write more and more diagrams in the answers, it will be very easy to understand the ideas that you are conveying to the examiner. So draw diagrams. Minimum 10 to 12 questions, you should be drawing some diagram. We will also practice that in the coming sessions. For example, the next day we will be having a, in the morning there will be a daily syllabus analysis, and in the afternoon we will be having another value addition class, and also another answer writing session. We will be focusing on that also. So remember these ideas. Next comes when. That is, when are you going to complete your practice, or when are you focusing on your practicing? That is, the strategy for practicing is that there should be a daily practice. You should not be relying only on sectional topics or weekly tests for the mains examination. Definitely there should be a daily practice. A daily schedule should be there, and based on that schedule we should be practicing on a daily basis. It can be either a peer evaluated daily practice, or it can also be a mentor evaluated daily practice. That is, the idea is that you should be getting feedback, whatever it is, whatever be the case, you should be getting the feedback. Without feedback you are not going to improve yourself. So daily answer writing should be there. So what we are doing is that for Mainsure 2021 we will be focusing on giving daily questions. That is 5 questions or 3 questions or 4 questions will be there. You need to write answers. It will be a live answer writing session. You can join us on online or offline, but the idea is that you need to practice regularly. More you practice, more will be your more better will be your answers. And there will be live feedbacks also. You can send your answers to us, we will evaluate and we will give a feedback, and there will be a student profile as well. There will be a student profile as well, so that you can answer, you can get your evaluation on a daily basis. Student profile will also be there. And this is for daily practice. If you are comfortable with your peer group or 5 or 6 members you have for your preparation, that is also good, no problem. But the idea is that get evaluation or get feedbacks. Regular feedbacks is necessary for answering this question. And next one is sectional and full test. This is one of the most important part for GS answer writing. That is, for example, in the first test we are going to focus on polity and governance. You are going to complete all the syllabus by next week. That is, by next Thursday we will be having a first sectional test. That is, in this section you are going to answer multiple types of questions. In the daily practice we will be focusing on speaker, governor, etc. But in the case of sectional test we will be focusing on little bit wider perspective. That is, you are going to write answers on speaker, governor, constitutional bodies, non-constitutional bodies. All these things will be there in your question. So you can improve your perspective, or you can address different types of questions in the sectional and full test. So weekly sectional test should also be there, and there will be feedbacks for those also. And the feedback of Civils 360 will be in such a way that every question will be evaluated by the mentor, and feedbacks will be given to each question. That way it will be a 45-minute session, minimum of 30 to 45 minute session. In this session, each and every questions will be taken and it will be evaluated to you, and it will be shown to you, and on a live platform we will be evaluating the question. That will help you to understand more and more. You can improve the content, you can improve the presentation, you can improve how to prioritize these questions. So feedbacks will also be there, and there will be a personal mentor for you to contact. And the idea related to practicing mains examination is that whatever you write, get feedback. Without feedback you are not going to improve. That is, regular feedbacks helps you to grow your content and presentation. That is very important. Regular feedback should be there wherever you write, be it in your peer group, be it in our Mainsure 2020, or be it in some other groups. Definitely get feedback. If you are just getting a paper corrected, for a consider somebody is correcting a paper and say that first question he will be getting 2 marks, and second question he is getting 1.5 marks. If you are getting these marks alone, you are not going to improve yourself. You may believe that I am not ready, I'll be reading a little bit more, and you will continue the process. You are not going to improve your presentation or answer writing skill because of that. If you want to improve your answer writing and preparation strategies or presentation skills, you are going to focus on feedback. That is, a live feedback is more suitable for writing mains, getting feedback for mains examination. So what we are focusing is that we will be giving you live feedback. Similar to that, if you are writing in a peer group, get that. Write an answer, get feedback from everybody, and move on to another question. That should be your strategy. Okay, that is, whatever you write, get feedback. And next, how, that is how you can improve your marks or how you can get maximum mark. For that, we will be taking certain questions and we will analyze what are the contents that is that we need to focus on while writing answers. I have identified one question from each of the GS paper, and we will evaluate what are the ideas related to this mains paper, or what are the contents related to these questions in the mains previous year mains question. So this is from GS1 2020. Is diversity and pluralism in India under threat due to globalization? Justify your answer. What is your thought on that? What content should be added, or what content can be added in your answers related to this? Any ideas? You can add your content or ideas in your comment section, or you can also take turn on your mic and discuss. Is diversity and pluralism in India under threat due to globalization? Justify your answer. What are the contents that can be added? No, nobody. Okay, I will go on. So the question asks for two things. That is, it is all globalization can enrich diversity in India. Yes, one idea is that globalization definitely, whatever be the case, justify your answer. That is the only thing that should be focused on. So in this question, you need to understand few things. That is, the keyword is justify. Keyword is justify. You need to justify whatever stand you are taking. You need to satisfy that. And the question is that whether diversity and pluralism is affected by globalization negatively, under threat by globalization. So you can start with introduction. For basically, you would know that there should be introduction, there should be content of your body part, and finally there should be conclusion. These are the basic requirements for your mains answers. Basically, we can say that these are the skeleton of your mains answer. So in introduction, you can say that you can define the ideas such as diversity and pluralism of India and also globalization. Try to mention what is globalization. Globalization is a situation, or you can relate diversity and pluralism. Globalization is a situation where all the ideas across the world is brought together into the country. That is an idea of globalization. You can use any definition, that is okay. Explain that. You mentioned that I have already understood the question. You are asking about what is the impact on diversity and pluralism related to globalization, whether globalization is affecting it negatively. You understand that. Let the examiner know that in the introduction itself, you understood the question. Then only you go to the content part. In the introduction part, you are going to hit the question. Do not wait for a long time. If this is a 10-marker question, you cannot wait for a wait for 2 pages or 3 pages to answer the question. Instead of that, attack the question from the introduction itself. You mentioned that this is globalization, and I believe that you are asking about diversity and pluralism, how it is affected by diversity globalization process. So you are mentioning about the definition of globalization and how it is going to affect diversity. You can say that there are positive and negative impacts on diversity and pluralism. And after that, you can add content. You can say that initially you can say that in sometimes globalization is improving the diversity. For example, new cultures is being included into India. That is one case. And another content related to the your topic. You may believe that diversity is affected. For example, instead of having dosha, sambar, or different type of local cuisines, we are focusing on burgers, or we are focusing on a centralized pizza type of item. That is, our diversity and pluralism in cuisine is changing. Or you can say that the dressing habits, the local dressing styles are changed to some other modern thing. Whatever it may be the content, you can quote all those in your content. And finally, you say that you stand your position. You mentioned your position that yes, globalization is often considered as affecting diversity and pluralism, but it is such a way that globalization can also benefit the diversity and pluralism. Mention these contents. Okay, this is how you answer a question in GS1. That is, you understand or you mention about the question in the first introduction part itself, then you are going to add content, then you are going to conclude. You should stand according to your positions, or stand, you should give answers according to the demand of question. Similar to that, there is mains GS2. This is related to the speaker. Once a speaker, always a speaker. Do you think the practice should be adopted to impart objectivity to the office of Speaker of Lok Sabha? What could be its implication for the robust functioning of parliamentary business in India? So here the question says that once a speaker, always a speaker. This is not our idea. This can be seen in other countries. They are asking that whether it can be implemented in India. What is the necessity? So in GS2, most of the questions are analytical in nature, especially the polity and constitution governance part, etc. Very analytical. For that, you focus on the keywords. For example, here the question asks for whether these practice should be implemented in the country so that objectivity can be improved. So keyword here is that objectivity is the keyword, and also it also asks for implication. So you start with the speaker, the idea of speaker. What is the importance of speaker? In the intro part, you are going to attack the question. In the intro part, you are going to mention that this question is about speaker, and it is the question about importance of speaker. You are going to mention that in your introduction. What is the importance of speaker and importance of objectivity in the office of speaker? Then you are going to address the question. In content part, you will be analyzing two things. First thing is whether the practice of once a speaker, always a speaker will be satisfying the objectivity of, or improving the objectivity of office of the speaker. You mention that. For that, you can add different content. How it is? What does once a speaker, always a speaker? It is a concept of British and other countries. For example, once he is appointed as speaker, he can continue for a lifetime. That is the idea of once a speaker, always a speaker. Similar ideas will be there. So just remember this content. When you go through the value addition topics, you will definitely learn about the ideas of once a speaker, always a speaker, and similar ideas related to Indian polity and all. So speaker, you are going to add content. You say that these are the issues related to speaker. For example, objectivity is not is there. For example, speaker is working in relation to the partisan approach. For example, the speaker is from such a party, he will be working for that party. These are the issues of country. So you can mention that, and you say that adding once a speaker, always a speaker, or giving security of tenure to speaker, or adding a continuity for the office of speaker, it will improve. How it will improve the objectivity? And you can also say that in India scenario, it is not suitable. You should not go against the constitutional provisions. You should say that in Indian scenario, it is not necessary. Instead of that, we can have little bit of other ideas. For example, how to improve the ideas of the office of speaker. In the second part, that is what could be its implication on the robust functioning. You should mention about how objectivity can improve the functioning of parliamentary business in India. So, and finally conclude that what is the importance of, again, we mentioned that speaker of Lok Sabha or speaker of parliament is very important for the working of government. That is for ensuring checks and balances. It is very important. Mention that and complete your answers. So the idea is that understand the question, or understanding the important keywords here: objectivity, implication, robust functioning. These are the keywords. Understanding keywords, decoding questions in GS2 is very important. So the idea is, whenever you say how to write an answer, this should be your key. That is, everybody can say introduction should be there, body should be there, and finally conclusion should be there, but that is not answer writing. If you want to write a good answer, you should be focusing on understanding the question first. Without understanding the question, you cannot write answer. That's all. Understand the question first and write the answers. The next one is GS3. Explain intra-generational and intergenerational issues of equity from the perspective of inclusive growth and sustainable development. So this is the question related to equity or inclusive growth. Your topic, if you take the GS3 syllabus, you can understand that there is a topic of inclusive growth. So this is a very plain question, but it is very hard to answer. So intra-generational and intergenerational issues of equity, you need to explain. Here the keyword is explain. You need to explain what are the intra-generational and intergenerational issues of equity from the perspective of inclusive growth. As far as GS3 is concerned, this is a paper for writing your content. More content will be good in GS3 paper. So you should be focusing on writing more content as well. So here the idea is that explain intra-generational and intergenerational issues of equity. You need to mention two things, that is intra-generational equity and intergenerational equity. You should be writing issues of equity in both perspectives. So you can start with the idea of inequity in India. This is mentioning about the issues of equity. You can say that around 90% of 56% of total wealth is held by 1% of individuals. You can mention there is economic inequality, social inequality, we can say digital inequality, or COVID related health inequalities there. All these can be mentioned in your introduction. Any one of these can be mentioned in your introduction. And this, as I said, GS3 is of focusing on content. You are going to write content, that is in the body part you are going to write content, that is you are going to mention what are the issues, that is intergenerational equity issue. For example, first one we are going to mentioning about intragenerational equity issue. For that we can mention that digital divide. This is an example of intragenerational issues of equity. There is economic inequality, that mention that. All these can be mentioned in the intragenerational equity part. At the same time, intergenerational issues of equity, you can mention the accessibility. For example, geriatric care, that is not accessible to all, or there is a difference between youth and old age people. There is a difference between newborn and older age people, or in the regions, for example, tribals and other peoples, intergenerational issues of equity. Mention that. You just explain on the basis of inclusive growth and sustainable growth. Sustainable growth, you can add the perspective of ecology and other things. So the idea is that here in GS3, you are going to focus on more content. Content should be focused as far as possible, or as much as possible. More content should be added in the GS3 paper. So that is the idea of GS3. So intragenerational and intergenerational issues of equity. So these ideas, that is whenever you write GS1 or GS2 or GS3, the core idea is that understanding question. If you cannot understand question, you are not going to get maximum out of your papers, GS papers. First understand the question. You should not be, in this question, you should not be writing what is inclusive growth and what is sustainable growth. You should also analyze what is intragenerational and intergenerational issues. You should subdivide your topics in accordance with the demand of question. Without that, you are not going to get the final output. For the sustainable development part, you need to focus on the environment factor. For example, there is intragenerational issues. For example, there is capitalistic countries, or we can say that related to capitalistic country, there is a disparity between developing and developed countries. Or also we can say the rich people and poor people, difference between rich and poor people. You can also mention that, whatever it may be, you can mention that. Give content related to that. You will learn these in your value addition classes. We will give all the content that is required. You can just focus on that. Next one is GS4. Coming to GS4, GS4 is not about content. GS4 is all about presentation. That is how much you can present yourself. Presentation is the key here. Maximum presentation, that is more ideas, or ideas should free flow. That is the idea, or that is related to GS4. For example, in this question, hatred is destructive of a person's wisdom and conscience that can poison a nation's spirit. That is, few ideas are mentioned is hatred is destructive of a person's wisdom and a conscience that can poison the nation's spirit. That is, basically we can say that hatred can affect a person's wisdom, and also it can also affect the conscience and thus affecting the nation spirit. So in this question, you are going to focus on how hatred is going to affect the person's wisdom and conscience and also nation spirit. You can use examples. When you write answers in GS4 paper, you are going to focus on examples. You can give all the examples. For example, there was a rumor related to Northeast people. Racial hatred was arising in Delhi, Bangalore in the past years related to the northeastern region in relation to COVID-19 and all. That affected the conscience of all entire country. You can mention that. And also a person's relation with another person. A hatred with another person can affect the relation between an individual, the relation between a group of people, that can also affected by the hatred. You mentioned you should be personalizing your answers in the GS4. You should not be focusing on writing some contents from some papers or write some textbooks. Instead of that, you should personalize your answers. For example, consider a question related to what is the difference between pleasure and happiness. You can say that eating laddu is pleasure, but at the same time getting into service or getting civil services examination is happiness. That is, pleasure is instantaneous, at the same time happiness is a long lasting thing. You can mention that whatever there can be a question, do you have fear, or how you overcome fear, or how you practice on a consistent basis. All these can be in your question, or whenever there is a question related to that, you are going to answer in such a way that you have some personal experience. For example, there can be a question related to how family is helping you overcome your fear. You give some personal example. Even if you don't have a personal experience, mention that. Somebody will be having that. Even if you don't know or you don't have an experience related to family or friends or teachers related to the question, you make up something. No problem with that. But the idea is that, you should be personalizing that. So in here, you are going to, do you agree with the view? Definitely you should be agreeing. That is a positive statement. You need to agree with that and justify your answer. This is how you are going to write your answers. For example, a regular practice can definitely improve the output. So practice as much as possible. Practice as far as time available, as much as time available. Repeat, repeat, and repeat. That is the idea of writing answers. And next one is related to our Mainsure program. What Mainsure is offering, that is, there will be a 7 a.m. Daily discussion, daily syllabus discussion. For the next 7 days, you can experience what it is in the Telegram channel. Please join the Telegram channel. If you are not joined that, please fill the form in the channels and groups, etc. Please fill the form. We will add you to the group. And first thing first, that is by 7 a.m. we will be discussing the syllabus. We will be understanding each and every ideas related to syllabus and how it can be answered or how it can be learned. Content will be analyzed, or how content can be developed. And by 2:30 you can complete the syllabus. And by 2:30 on a regular basis, that is weekly, minimum 2 classes will be there of 4 hours. Minimum 2 classes will be there. We will be completing all the content related to that topic. For example, tomorrow we will be having a polity class. In that we will be understanding all the constitutional officers, how it is related to the mains examination. So value addition classes will be there. And after that, there will be daily practices. On a daily basis, we will be having daily practice. Practice sessions will be there. This will be focusing on 3 to 5 questions, 1 hour session, maximum of 1 hour session. We will be completing the topics or questions in 10 minutes. That is 10 minutes time will be provided. You write the question, you write the answers, and we will make a best answer. And also we will give a feedback. This can be availed in offline or online. Whatever be the case, you can take offline or online. You can take the test. And also after that, we will be having sectional test and essay test. Regular essay test will be there, because essay is also very important. For example, you can get 100 marks or 90 marks in essay and also 150 or 160 marks. There can be a difference of 50 to 60 marks in essay paper itself. So you need to practice essay test also and sectional test. There will be 9 sectional tests and 8 full tests for your main sure test, and there will be 4 separate 4 essay tests will also be there. All these are included in the main sure 2021 package. And also another thing is that how the feedback will be. That is also a difference that we can make. The feedback will be on an individual basis. Feedback will be an individual basis. That is, every test, after every test, we will be having individual feedbacks for every test. That is, a mentor will be calling you. Mentor will be showing your paper. If you are in having offline session, you can come to the office, or if you are taking a online mode, then the mentor will call you on Google Meet or Zoom, whatever be the platform, and they will show your paper, and they will evaluate one by one, or they will recollect, or they will give feedbacks on the basis of answer you have written. So, and there will be a student profile. Every student will be given with a student profile in which each mentor will be updating the information. For example, your performance in daily test, your performance in sectional test, your performance in full test, and regions which you need to improve. This is for your reference. Whenever you have certain doubts or what to study, you're going to focus on this student profile, and you need to evaluate that as well. That is the important thing. So this is these are the ideas we are focusing on. And there will be detailed answer key. There will be detailed answer key. There will be value addition materials. And every test will be discussed by a faculty. Test discussion will also be there. This is the idea of MainSure 2020. You can join anyone, anytime. Do remember to download the app. Do remember the download the Notebook app. This is our official app. Do download Notebook app. All the videos, all the topics, all the live classes will also be available in the Notebook app. For the paid student, and also for free trial will also be available. Do download the app and do contact us. The total cost of this test series is 17,000. Total cost is 17,000. So do download the app and do join the Telegram channel and Telegram group. For registering in for MainSure test series, there is a form available in the Telegram channel. Search for Civils 360 and join Telegram channel and download the form and fill the form. We will add you to the group. So these are the basic ideas. Do you have any doubts related to any content? If you have any doubts, please let us know. I can give some insight into that also. Do you have anybody have any doubts? Next 7 days, there will be free trial. Everybody can join. Everybody can join the next 7 days till first test completely open to all. You can all check the quality. Only after that you need to join. So I believe there is no doubts and all. So tomorrow we will be having daily syllabus discussion, and also we will be having another session related to daily test. There will be daily answer writing and also a value addition class tomorrow. Please do join. We will be discussing Indian polity and governance tomorrow. So thank you all. We will see you on next day tomorrow. That is tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you all.